Hey there, good morning everyone. So today is going to be a fantastic session. So we're going to do something new today, something brand new we've never done before, and that is going to do a complete video walkthrough of everything that was included in our last release and our last upgrade and update to the SimplySub workspace. So buckle up, sit back, relax. I'm going to jump right on in and we're going to get through this. There's a lot to cover. We did about 30 new updates, improvements, and bug fixes. So we're going to cover just really the big items here, and we're going to go over them just briefly. If you do have any more questions, I welcome you. Give us a shout, give us a call, shoot our support team an email, call me directly. More than happy to go over anything that you see in the video a little bit more in detail. But without further ado, let's jump on in. So the first thing is the financial settings now is even easier to manage. Now, what does that mean? If you head on over into the financials area, you'll see that there's this little gear now in the top right-hand corner. Now, this is actually going to be kind of step one. There's going to be many more settings and configuration options that are going to be coming in our next release. But for right now, when you click on the little gear, you'll notice that you now have the ability to quickly and easily edit your estimate numbers, the next number that's going to be used. The default estimate acceptance text, this is again going to be the text at the bottom of your estimates, kind of in the signature section that you want to appear. So previously, you had to either call our support team or you needed to just kind of deal with whatever text was there. Now you can customize that to meet your own needs. You can also update the invoice and purchase order next numbers. Now we are working on the ability, in our next release, you'll have the ability to configure preset customer notes and preset customer email content, like that opening paragraph. So that way you don't have to retype the same customer note every time, like, you know, your traditional thank you so much for the opportunity to bid for your business, or on the invoice, thank you for your business. You won't have to hand type that or copy and paste anymore. It will just be a kind of default. So stay tuned for that. But so that is the first thing there with the financial settings. Next thing is you have this new financial navigation. This is probably one that I'm personally most happy that got implemented. So now when you click on to anything within estimates, invoices, payments, doesn't matter, you will notice that there's this new navigation bar up at the top. This is going to allow you to very quickly and easily jump between things. Where before you had to go back to the financial dashboard and then hop back on over to a different section, it just created kind of some friction in your workflow. So now we click on estimates, we can click into an estimate. Now we think, oh, I want to go back and I need to, add an invoice or request a payment. So super simple. Rather than having to go back to financials, you can simply just click on invoices or payments or expenses or purchase orders. It just creates a much more cohesive experience for you all. The next thing that we're going to talk a little bit about is that we've added internal notes to invoicing and estimating. So let's come back to estimates here and let's click on this first estimate. In the top right hand corner, you have the ability now to have notes. You can add notes, manage notes, create notes as it relates to this estimate. And the same behavior works for invoicing. So again, if I click on this particular invoice and click on actions, manage notes, I can come in and you can see that there's a couple notes here that I created before our call or before this video today. Now again, these notes work just like everything else. You can security control them directly within the system settings area under access and security. So you can set your security groups to determine whether and who can create notes, edit notes, can they edit their own notes, can they delete only their own notes, not others' notes, and so on and so forth. But if I wanted to delete a note, simply click on delete, simply yes, and you'll notice that that note is now deleted. So this is great for recording things like collection attempts or any other type of communication that occurred relating to either that estimate or invoice. So again, you've got internal notes now on both estimating and invoicing, along with, I think we didn't really publish this in our update, but an updated menu here, a little bit cleaned up and a little bit more refined. Additionally, you also, in the quick resource section, you also have now over 100 checklists. So truth be told, we're actually up to about 234 checklists. These checklists are available to use. So if you wanted to simply have a change order checklist, You can click on that, scroll down, and you can use the checklist. You can print the checklist. You can use these as many times as you'd like. Now, currently, these are not integrated within your SimplySub workspace. This is kind of a resource that is available on SimplySub, but in the short time coming, you will absolutely be able to build your own checklist, maintain your own checklist, run reports on checklists, and so on and so forth right from there. So with that, like I said, just know that they are going to be only available directly within this area here. Also, since this is recently updated, we are now up to over 800 safety talk topics. So again, you can go to our website, click on Safety Talks, and you can see we're at 804. And again, these topics are not only available in English, but also in Spanish as well. So again, if you have Spanish-speaking crews, absolutely you can, without a doubt, use our Spanish versions. Now, we are also rolling out, so again, if I do hard hat, I know this is one of them. Let's see here. Actually, let me come in here. Hard hat. There we go. So many of our videos are also getting, many of our safety talks are also getting videos. So if you are looking for videos for safety talks, just know that we are in the very slow but very definitive progress towards getting every safety talk, both in English and Spanish, to have its very own video that can be watched by crews. So this is something that we are super, super, super excited about. Now, additionally, SimplySub is now on Google Business. I'm not going to go into great detail on that, but if you do want to follow us on Google Business, just like Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn or X, you can definitely follow our Google Business account as well. We'll be posting updates there. A new banner when you're editing your own account. So let's come over to administrative settings. Under employees, I'm going to go ahead and select my account here. You'll notice this little account that says, hey, you're editing your own account. It's just a friendly reminder whenever you're editing an account that, hey, you're editing your own. So you don't want to accidentally overwrite your account with somebody else's just because you thought you were editing a different account. So it's a small but mighty update to kind of keep you in line and keep everything where you want it. And then the next thing we have here is you can now request integrations. So again, we thrive on customer feedback, and I know many of you that I've personally talked to, this is something that I kind of really am big on. I harp on it almost to the point where I know maybe on the verge of annoying, but it's genuinely true. If you have an update, if you have a request, if you have a feature that you'd love for SimplySub to have, I would love to know about it. That gives me an opportunity to make SimplySub better, not only for you, but for everyone. So up in the top right-hand corner, you can simply click on Request an Integration, and it will take you directly on over to Submit an Idea. Go ahead and submit that through, and that will directly come to not only me, but also my team, and then we'll kind of start reviewing what is needed to make that idea or that suggestion come to reality. So again, definitely don't miss out. You can also submit any suggestions right from this little menu option here. You can get help, you can share an idea, you can get training. So let's say that you do want training and you're like, oh, you know what, I'd love to spend an hour with Brian or one of his team members. Simply click on Get Training, and what that will do is that will bring up our calendar, our private training calendar. Pick a day, pick a time that works well for you, click the Submit button, and it's that simple. And then at that point in time, that will be put directly on our training schedule. All of our trainings are done via webinar at a time and day that's convenient for you. So additionally, you can now also daily task reminders. So again, in the daily tasks, as you can see here in the top right-hand corner, you now will receive daily reminders. Kind of think of them more like updates rather than reminders. So these will show things like what is due, what is coming, things along those lines. So I'm going to show you a quick example here just so that way you can see what it looks like. Okay, I found an example here for one of my demo accounts. So this is an example of the type of email that you'll receive. You'll see how many overdue, how many are due today, due tomorrow, due this week, assigned by me, team tasks, my open tasks, and then of course all open tasks. If you had any overdue tasks, they would appear down here at the bottom. In this example, I don't, but just kind of keep an eye out for that. If you start creating tasks within the task system, you will receive kind of daily update emails just to kind of keep you in line and make sure nothing falls through the cracks for you. So as we continue on, let's see here. So those are all the kind of the new things that SimplySub has released within our latest update. Now, additionally, we've improved several areas as well. So if we head back on over into the financials area, and we come under estimates, you now have the ability to click on the number of invoices. So for instance, over here, I've got 2 invoices. If you're curious which 2 invoices were created from this estimate, you can simply go ahead and click on that, and it will bring you directly over to just those 2. In addition, customer invoice PDFs clearly show whether they're paid or partially paid. So you'll have the ability to see whether an invoice is unpaid, paid, or partially paid on an invoice. So if we click on send, from here you'll be able to, this should say, depending upon if we have any payments, it will say either paid or unpaid. So you can see here, so it says unpaid right here. If there were partial payments, it would say partially paid. If it was fully paid, the status would say fully paid. Now, while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the invoice title. We have added the invoice title to the actual invoice itself. So again, this is something that has always been within SimplySub, having an invoice title. Now it is available directly on the PDF. It was previously only available on the email that got sent to your customers, but now it's on the invoice itself. Same thing goes for your estimates. If we click on estimates and we click on send, this will allow you to see the version of the estimate as well. The title will be right there for you as well. So again, you can see the estimate title down here at the bottom. So again, now your customers can have the estimate title on the estimates as well. So draft invoices are now called pending. Again, this was just a tiny small update to create a little bit more cohesion with some other accounting platforms that are out there. So if we come in and we click on create a new estimate, rather than this say draft, which is what it used to say, now drafts are going to be pending, both on the estimate as well as on the invoice side. Additionally, you've got creating and editing estimates and invoices on mobile devices has been redesigned. This is probably one of the largest aspects of this upgrade to SimplySub. So if we come in, let's take a look at this particular estimate right here. So again, this is what I'm going to move me off screen or try to move me far away. This is what the estimate looks like on a desktop. Let's say that you are mostly out in the field. You're very rarely at your computer at the office or iPad or whatever the case may be, and you're mostly on a small screen device. Well, the good news is that SimplySub has just overhauled the mobile experience 100%. So again, use your eyes kind of as a camera, take a picture, if you will, of what you're looking at. Notice you've got these like 4 or 5 little text areas here. You've got kind of a button over here on the right-hand side, things along those lines. So from here, you can simply click on, I'm going to click up here, and this is what it's going to look like now on a mobile device. So that menu, that brand new menu navigation is available up here at the top. As we scroll down, you'll notice the look and feel of the estimate is completely different. So from here, I can easily click and drag down, and that will move things around on the estimate. So again, simple. You can also edit line items directly from that little edit button up in the top right-hand corner. So this is so much better than it was before, and thank you to all of you that have requested a better way to do this. So this was absolutely much needed, and it will streamline your operations greatly. So again, you've got the ability to drag, you've got this nice kind of edit button up here in the top right. This goes for both the invoicing and the estimates. So very, very easy to now edit and create estimates on your mobile devices. So as we continue on, let's see what else we have here. Customer notes on the estimates now support bold and text. So again, yes, your customer notes, let me go ahead and exit out of here. And down on the left-hand corner, you can now bold items right from here. You can now link to third-party resources, whether it be payment links, finance links, whatever the case may be. In your customer notes section, we do support bolding and links as well. Job activity, let's see here, there we go. Yep, so daily log searches now include jobs. So up under the daily logs, now any job that has even an expense added to it will automatically get pulled into this view within your date range. So again, this is just a small way to ensure the fact that nothing falls through the cracks. So for instance, let's say you're on a job and then you're off that job for 2 months, and then suddenly someone calls you and you go do the job, you need to update it, but you don't actually perform the work. You just go and buy something for that job, but no actual work takes place. You just have a new expense. Well, that expense is going to trigger the job to show up within the daily log search right here. So that way you know that it can be billed, nothing falls through the cracks, and everything stays where it needs to be. Other than that, let's see here. Job activity now is available when creating or editing an invoice. So so this is fantastic. So this is under the finances. Let's go back on over to finances and then invoicing. From here, let's just go ahead and click on, let's do 12308. Let me find, there we go. Perfect. So let me edit this invoice. Down here, you'll now see view job summary. What this is going to do is this is going to, when you click on it, this is a much improved. It's going to pull up the daily log, searching from the beginning of time, and it's going to show you everything that was done, the dates that they were done, who did them, quantities, everything along those lines. And it's also going to, as we scroll down a little bit further past the work performed, it's going to show you all equipment that was used on that job. It's going to show you your employees and how many hours those folks worked, along with totals based on raw salary. So again, this allows you to very quickly and easily identify which or how much to bill to cover your raw salary. And then of course, if you wanted to add overhead on top of that for profit, you're more than welcome to. And then again, any expenses related to that job. So we're still on the invoice interface. So if I click on the close button, you'll now see that the invoice is right behind it. So this is a fantastic way to be able to create these invoices based on real work performed and without having to leave the invoice interface. So the next thing that I want to talk about is, let's see here, the estimate and invoice emails have an updated design. Absolutely. So what that does, let's come into the estimates and let's go ahead and click send. And I'm just going to go ahead and send this to myself. But essentially what we've done is we've updated the design of the actual email that is sent out. So let's come in and click on Brian and send. And I will open this up for you on my other window. There we go. Perfect. Just waiting for the email. There it is. And open this, and I'll bring this over here. Perfect. So you'll now notice that your logo is going to appear in the top of the email, and this logo is going to be much more refined than it was before. Many of our customers upload kind of the raw logo. It's either way too big or way too small or something along those lines. Well, the good news now is that our system is going to be smart enough to be able to kind of tailor that logo to be best viewed within the email, as you can see here. Additionally, you'll also notice that the estimate title has been added to the email as well. But again, this is going to allow you to present you and your business in a much more professional way to your customers. So if we go back on over and let's see what's next here, the account setup experience has been completely revamped. If we come under admin settings, this entire screen has been revamped. So now to edit anything, simply click on the edit button right from there, and that's going to allow you to edit anything on the screen. It's a much more streamlined, simple, and smooth experience. Last couple things here, payroll summary reports, punch logs, daily log reports, they all have been revamped with respect to their printing ability. So if you go into the reports, and we'll just simply daily log, let's do billable work summary. This is one of them too, billable work summary, and click on run report. And let's just run it for, sure, we'll just run the report for that 12308. And run this, and then we'll print this. So the printing has been completely revamped on many of these reports, allowing you to see more on the report. This is just one of them. So again, if we cancel out of here and go back to all reports, and we'll just say punch, daily punch log, click on run, and then we'll print this as well. And you'll see again, the printing has just been refined to make it easier to save this to a PDF, print it to your printer, or what have you. We've also resolved a few bugs. Pending invoices now include only the quantities that remain that are needing to be billed. This was a rare bug. It didn't happen every time, but there were some cases where when you created a progress invoice off of an estimate, it would go ahead and just pull in the full quantities. So that was kind of annoying. We did resolve that. Pending invoices are now included in invoice counts and totals. New users, there was a small bug in rare cases when you tried to create a new user. In some rare cases, if the user's first name was really, really short, the system wouldn't let you create the new user because it was using the first name as kind of a component of the password, and the password complexity requirements never got reached. Voided payments no longer appear in payment totals, and a bunch of other minor bugs, and that got resolved as well. So other than that, thank you so much for watching this product update release video. If you do have any questions, please don't be bashful. Reach out to me personally or my team. Be more than happy to go ahead and get those addressed. But thank you so much for your business. As always, if you need us, we're here for you. Thank you all. Bye now.